You have to relate to the mayor, their concerns, their thoughts.
He's heard them
It's a
all.
tough job.
He's
And
heard them all.
it's your head's going to explode rather than theirs. You're like a
Wait,
martyr.
Robert, isn't that your job too?
No, absolutely not. No.
Why did we rush this?
Mm-hmm.
Folks will say that your citizens committee met for a month. When
Yeah.
previous bond issues, we've had a year and a half,
Yeah.
and then they've met. And we rushed into it, and folks are saying the only reason we did is because this bond was expiring, and we wanted to do it now so that we didn't have to come back for a new tax.
Mm-hmm. So the bond, the next opportunity for us to go out for a bond would have been a renewal would have been 2030, and I don't want new taxes there. I don't want to do that.
Wait, 2030, because, pardon me, I just need a little clarification because there's been a couple of things put out by the Shreveport Republican Party, Caddo Parish Republican Party, and it's like, and their point of view is voting no isn't saying no, it's saying not now. That it should be back on the ballot in April of next year.
That's what he's saying. That would have been a new
Of course,
tax.
so when I say new tax, that same party can come back.
Well, you said 20. What I'm saying is you said 2030.
For the next opportunity for a
renew
renewal.
one, right.
Renewal is the key term there. Not.
See, that's where I wasn't clear.
Yeah.
There's
for the
another
next
one that's
opportunity.
rolling off the books in 2030.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. So for a renewal, so if I go next year, let's just say I don't wait to 2030 and I say, hey, we wanted to take more time. This is what we're doing. Then I guarantee you the same leadership of that party. And by the way, I love a lot of Republicans in town, work with them constantly. So I think it's very specific people within that party that's kind of shooting at that. And let me go to the point about we rushed this. So the Citizens Committee, the Citizens Bond Committee actually met for just on about 2 months. They put in about 40 plus hours of work going out to sites, visiting projects, working diligently around a table. But you have to realize that my department heads have a running list at all times about the needs of their particular department and the needs of our city. So it wasn't like they had to go out and gather things. They literally laid them out on the table and the Citizens Bond Committee got to analyze. So they spent all that time analyzing. It wasn't research that had to be done prior to. So they had more than enough time. Everybody was comfortable with the amount of time that they had.
But
so we didn't rush anything.
They didn't recommend the Fairgrounds field. That just got tossed in. There were things that they did not recommend. How are some of those things in this package?
Well, Aaron, let me describe the procedure to this. Right, you get a Citizens Bond Committee that give that list to me. I want the voices of the citizens to be heard first, and then I have to go through council. And when you go through council, you saw that the $220 million worth of projects that was initially proposed, you see it get cut down to 186 of what the council deemed was the most, immediate needs of the city, the critical needs of the city. And that's what I put forward because I needed 4 votes to be successful and give citizens the opportunity to vote on this. So that's how a lot of the bond got cut down and why some things got added or some things got taken away.
Do you feel like a lot of the negative feedback, a lot of the negative blowback you're getting pertaining to the bond issue is, and it's a point I've brought up, that it's not necessarily people not trusting Adrian Perkins, but it goes back maybe an administration or two. In other words, the term I've used, the Shreveport, the Shreveport deep state. In other words, that the bureaucracy itself is not a smooth running machine.
Yeah. Well, Robert, I'll tell you this. I haven't seen you in any of the town halls, but I answer probably 70% of questions that we have to answer are issues that started before I got into office. So you're right. There has been a lot of things in the past that have accumulated in the psyche of our citizens. But I'll answer that, and I tell them this: I ran for mayor. I wanted to be a part of government because I too did not like those things that were happening. I ran on a platform to change those things, to be more prudent with our dollars, to be more responsible, to have a more progressive vision for the city. So I'm in the exact same boat with anybody griping about, hey, this happened in the past and this happened in the past. I griped as well. I threw my name in the hat to be the mayor. And now that I'm mayor, let's all use this opportunity to make sure that we're doing the right things moving forward.
Tell us about future of Shreveport people, because those folks have a billboard up. When you go to maybe more than one billboard, and it's all your face when you go to their website. Who's paying for their campaign supporting this bond issue? Where's that money coming from?
Yeah, it's local people that want to support the city and they're still supporting my vision. So this is all local dollars that are going into making sure that our city can go forward and we can really get to those things that I talked about on the campaign trail.
Okay, here's another trust issue for me. We were promised a I've got a bunch of promises, but one of them. That
Wait, did I
bugs me-
promise you this,
Nope,
Aaron? I was about to say.
Nope, you didn't.
No, yeah.
You didn't. But I'm gonna move it to you.
let's
I'm gonna
be
move
clear
it to
on-
you
yeah.
here. We were promised a super station for the fire station at the fairgrounds to replace 2 stations. That's what they pitched to me when they wanted me to vote for a prior bond issue.
Gotcha.
They pitched it to me. We voted for it, and now they scratch their heads and they say that might not be the best idea after all. So we're not going to build a super station. We're going to build 2 new stations. How can you sit here and tell me, yes, we're going to build the police substations. Yes, we're going to build a new police. Can you guarantee me that the things you're pitching to us today will get done?
Yes, Aaron, I can guarantee you that. And I would say about the past promises, you've had those stakeholders that were involved at the time. You've heard them debate on the merits of that. Let's just talk about the police station, the headquarters station that we have to do. We're not going to keep our officers in that building with, mold and millions of dollars worth of repairs for the electrical work. We're not going to do that. Like, that's a necessity. And since the campaign trail, and I've been very good at this, I've talked about the police substations. We will build 4 police substations in the north, east, south, and west parts of our city. Like, I guarantee you that.
What's going to be first? Where will we see dirt turned first on these projects?
Well, so the police substations will be first. Which ones, we're not 100% sure. We have already agreed, and actually we established this when we were at AB Palmer. We've agreed to go into the communities to allow the communities to give us feedback about where we're going to place this substation. So substations first, because we have to clear out those officers so we can start demolition. But I'm glad you pointed out what's going to be first. We're also going to take citizen feedback because we're breaking up the $186 million into $60 million tranches or segments, because we're not going to rush these projects. We're going to make sure that we're kind of consuming this in very digestible bites so that we can monitor it and have oversight so that we're getting quality roads that we're building, quality infrastructure, and quality facilities.
Got time
So we're
for
not going to
one.
rush everything.
Got time for one more. You got something?
Yeah. Deep breath.
This is the hard one right here.
Can we please finish Knight Street that was in the 2011 bond issue before you start fixing more roads from this bond issue?
Yes. Knight Street, and the light on Wallace Lake Road
Yes.
will be. We will start construction on that.
Okay.
I mean, within the next 2 months.
If
3 months.
these do not pass, what do you do then?
We do what we have to do. We're going to continue to run government. I mean, I think it'll be devastating if it doesn't pass, but we're going to continue to run government. We're going to continue to find efficiencies. We're still going to work for the people of Shreveport. But, I would encourage everybody to make sure to go out this weekend and just think about the future of this city. We don't need to see what happens if we have a more bare bones budget. We don't need to see what happens if we have to keep the same facilities within our city. That's not what it's about. I think this bond is more about the psyche of our city, the motivation of the citizens that are positive and have hope for the future of this city, just as much as it is about infrastructure.